Hello everyone, this is Dr. Ritika Mani, Dolphin PG Institute of Biomedical and Dental Sciences from the Department of Physiotherapy. Our today's topic is about mental retardation. So let us discuss this. What is mental retardation? It is a generalized disorder appearing before adulthood characterized by significantly impaired cognitive functions and deficits in two or more adaptive behavior. So basically it refers to substantial limitation in the present functioning. It is characterized by significantly sub-average intellectual functioning existing concurrently with related limitation in two or more of the following adaptive skills like communication, self-care, home living, social skills, community skill, health, safety. So all these functions are effective if subject is having mental retard symptoms. It has historically been defined as an intelligence quotient score under 70. If the subject is having the grade less than 70 or 70, then subject is it is called as mentally retarded. Now, as substantial limitation is present in the functioning, like the person has difficulty in performing everyday living activities, taking care of oneself, ordinary tasks at home, and work related to other adaptive skills areas. Academic work is also included in it, like going school, doing homework. All these activities are affected if subject is having this condition. Significantly, the person is having below average intelligence. The person has difficulty to learn and solve problem, accumulate knowledge and adapt to new situations. Sub-average intellectual functioning can change. So this is all the sub-average functioning which can be affected in this type of condition. Now, intelligence quotient, IQ score, we are discussing it. Like IQ score is derived from one or the several different standard tests designed to assess the intelligence of the subject. So in this, we have the grades as 140 plus is called as genius. 120 to 140 is called very superior intelligence. We put the child, if the child is having 120 to 140 score rate. 110 to 119 is superior intelligence. Then 90 to 109 is normal or average intelligence. 80 to 89 is having dull performance. 70 to 79 is borderline deficiency. Under 70 is the definite feeble mindedness. Then, like limitation in the adaptive skills is there in the behavior of the child having mental retard, means that the person is having mental retard fails to meet the standard of personal independence and social responsibilities expected of their chronological age and cultural group. As adaptive skills are assessed by the means of standardized adaptive behavior scale. So this is there is also a scale for the behavior assessment which we will discuss in the later. Now, prevalence. What will be the prevalence of this type of condition? As about 2 to 3% of the populations are there, those which are affected by this condition. 3% of the world population estimated to be mentally retarded. In India, 5 out of 1,000 children are mentally retarded. This is done by the research of Indian Express. Mental retardation is more common in boys than of the girls. Means males, slightly more males than females. And severe and profound mental retardation mortality is higher due to the associated physical disease. More prevalence in lower SES and in minority groups. Then, as we have classified the IQ classification is like 70 or below 70 is mentally retarded. So, borderline is 70 to 80. Mild is 55 to 70. Moderate is 40 to 45 score. Severe is having a score of 25 to 40 in the scale, and profound is below 25. So these are the scores. Classification, we can classify the scale as borderline, mild, moderate and severe type according to these numbers. Now what we see in mild retardation, as these are the symptoms, these are the factors, the features we can see. 75 to 90% of all the cases are there in mild retardation, category. Functions at 1/2 to 2/3 of the CA is there, and IQ is 50 to 70 in the scale. Moderate is having 10 to 25% of all the cases of mental retardation in moderate stage, if we will see in the researches. Severe cases are 10 to 25% of all the cases, and in profound we can see 10 to 25% of all the cases of mental retardation. In moderate, functions at 1/3 to 1/2 of the CA is seen. In severe, functions at 1/5 to 1/3 of the CA is seen. IQ level is 20 to 34. Then in profound, IQ level is below 20. 20 is the highest. In mild retardation, it is low in all the areas. In moderate retardation, noticeable delays are there, especially in speech. Marked and obvious delay may walk late in severe, and marked delay is there in all areas in profound retardation. May have no unusual physical signs in mild, have some unusual physical signs in moderate. Little or no communication skills, may have some understanding of the speech and show some response in the severe. Profound cases, congenital abnormalities often present. In mild, can acquire practical skill, useful reading and math skills up to grade 3 to 6 level can be seen, and they can conform to society. Socially, they are active. Moderate cases can learn simple communication, can learn elementary health and safety habits. These are the features which can be seen in moderate, and can participate in simple activities, self-care of like ideal activities. In severe, may be taught daily routine and repetitive activities. Little or no communication skills, have some understanding of the speech and show some responses. Need direction and supervision. In severe cases, they always need direction and supervision. In profound, having IQ level less than 20, they are congenital abnormalities often present in this type of condition. Need close supervision. Often need attendant with them. Always need. May respond to the regular physical activities and social stimulations. These are the factors, the features which are commonly seen in mild, moderate, severe, profound retardations. We can classify the subjects with these features also: the IQ level and the percentage. Etiological factor, it is unknown. It can be 30 to 40%. The unknown cases are there. Genetical factor can be there 5%. Early embryonical prenatal causes 30%. Prematurity, intrauterine growth factor deformity. Perinatal factors 10% are there. Acquired medical condition like trauma, infections are there, which can be of 5%, which can cause mental retardation. Environmental factors are also there, like 5 to 20% can be seen because of environmental factor. The subject is having this type of condition. Now classification, etiologically, if we will classify it as prenatal, perinatal and postnatal causes. So what are the causes, the factors? If we will define it, if the child is in the uterus, prenatal causes are there. Genetical disorders like fragile X chromosome defect is having, if the child is having this type of defect. Then if the child is having Klinefelter syndrome, male with extra X chromosome. Then Down syndrome, metabolic disorders, skin disorders, endocrinal factors, hypothyroidism. These are the factors which are there at the time when the child is in the uterus, and these conditions can affect the mother. Then it will lead to affect the child also, and then can cause this type of condition of mental retardation in the subject. Metabolic causes, Wilson diseases are also there. Epileptical factors at the time of the pregnancy, if the pregnant lady is facing these type of conditions. Then infections are there. These can be other factors are there. Now, cranial malformations are there if the subject is having any anencephaly, microcephaly, hydrocephaly, having skull is not developed fully, or underdeveloped skull, or having skull size increases more. Then this type of condition is there. You will read it more in the neurology and clearly about hydrocephalus, microcephaly, and anencephaly. These are the conditions which can cause the CP also in the subject, and the mental retardation is also seen. Congenital factors like rubella infections, which I have discussed, toxins because of excessive of drug use at the time of the pregnancy or after pregnancy, then alcohol syndrome, RH compatibility is there, syphilis infections, all these are there which can cause mental retardation in the child fetus. Perinatal causes, these can be prematurity at the time of delivery, prematurity, teen pregnancy is there, right? If at the time of pregnancy, at the time of the delivery, if the patient is having not patient but child is having birth anoxia, means there is deficiency of oxygen occur. Breech delivery is there, the child is not delivered properly, not at umbilical cord. This can be the condition which can cause this MR in the child. Postnatal causes are child abuse and neglect, traumatic brain injury after the delivery, if the child is of any age group of 1 month, 2 months, and at the time of this, if he or she is facing of any infection of meningitis, encephalitis, nutritional deficiency, cultural and familial problems, these can be the factor which can cause this MR. Infection of measles. Then infections, encephalitis, which I have discussed, head injury, chronic lead exposure, severe and prolonged malnutrition. If the child is facing malnutrition, then also it can also cause the factor MR. These all are the causes of MR. Now, the common features which can be seen in the MR child is delays in oral language developments, deficits in memory, difficulty in learning the social rules, like I have discussed it at the time of introduction also, difficulty with problem solving skills, delay in the development of adaptive behavior such as self-help or self-care skills. Now, what will be the clinical evaluation of this? Complete history should be there. Examination, complete history of the child, like complete and detailed history of the any trauma, any accident, any medical illness, hospitalization, general health at the time of treatment. These all factors should be there. These are very important thing at the time of rehab also. If you are doing physiotherapy, then at the time of this also history taking is very important. Assessment is very important. Pregnancy history should be there, maternal age, parity infections, birth type, how the child what is the condition of the birth, GA complications, Apgar score at the time of the development, delivery, postnatal causes, these incubator, ventilator, any type of disease if the child is facing, so all should be there at the time of the assessment. These may be helpful in the treatment process also. So physiological, neurological examinations are there. Examination of growth parameters, dysmorphic features, CNS examinations should be there. IQ test is very important. Skin examination, developmental testing, assessment of the milestones should be there. Blood examinations, urine examinations are all very important. History collections from the parents and caretaker is very important. Diagnosis include the culture, amniocentesis is also very important. Hearing and speech evaluation should be there. All these are the examination, and these are very important, as I have discussed, for the rehab also. That's all about the mental retardation. Next, further all we will discuss it in the next video.